All right. Oh my goodness. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on our call tonight. We are so excited to have our very own CEO, Gene Tips, here with Plexus he's with us. And you guys, this is just such an honor. And Gene, I just want to thank you for your time because I know your calendar is just incredibly full and you are taking time out of your night and your evening to be here with us. And so just want to say a huge thank you from on behalf of Dream Team. So thank you. All right. So I would just love, I have been with Plexus since 2014. So hit Diamond in, let's see, March of 2022. So yeah, so it took me about 7.5 years to hit Diamond. So obviously I am super excited to see the changes under your leadership because it's just been amazing to watch. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself for those of us on the call that maybe don't know, like how did you get into Plexus and what's kind of your history and all those good things?
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, thank you for inviting me on your call. And it is absolute pleasure to do this because one, just don't tell anybody here in the building. I'd rather be working with you guys than doing all the corporate stuff that we have to do on a daily basis. But yeah, you know what? It's been an amazing journey for me. For those of you who don't know, I've been in the industry for this year is going on 25 years. I had a lot more hair back in the day, unfortunately, and a lot less gray, but that's just life. But yeah, I've been in the industry 25 years. I've had the absolute pleasure, been extremely blessed to have some amazing opportunities afforded to me. My first foray into network marketing took me to Australia. So I was actually in Australia working for I want to say about 7 years or so with this company it was a US based company, but a global company. Ended up being at its height almost $1 billion. And had great opportunities. I was asked to temporarily live in the Philippines as the general manager of that market for that same company for a little while. I went back, got a phone call. They asked me to move to London and actually open all of their European markets. So that was a lot of fun, stressful at the same time, but great opportunity. Had to leave there though. For those who don't know, my wife is actually Australian. My two oldest kids were born in Australia. And when we were living in London, my wife actually got what they call seasonal effectiveness disorder. Anybody heard of that? It's called SAD. It's basically becoming depressed from not seeing the sun. So my joke in London was I saw more sun on the plane than I did on the ground because I traveled all over Europe, opening all the European markets, and you'd break through the clouds and it's like, oh, there's a sun. Like, hey, sunshine. And she grew up in Australia in what they call the Sunshine State, Queensland. And anyways, called them up, said, hey, love you guys, been a wonderful ride, but my wife's not happy here. And they said, don't go nowhere. So they actually about 8 weeks later offered me an opportunity to move to the States and work in the corporate office there. Was there looking after and opening probably 25 international markets by the time I left there. But anyways, left there, went to another company. It was privately held, had a lot of fun there. Was enticed to go to a publicly traded company. Didn't know anything about being publicly traded at the time. Spent about 5 years with them, opened up several international markets. Left there with an opportunity to go work with a private equity group. And those two stints between being publicly traded and being part of private equity backed company, I learned some very valuable lessons. Anybody want to guess what those lessons were? Anybody? I don't ever want to work for a publicly traded company again. I don't ever want to work with
That was going to be my guess. Don't go work for
ever. And the main why behind that is because those types of models clipped on with direct sales or network marketing most of the time you serve multiple masters. And in this business, it's a relationship business. And unfortunately, publicly traded private equity, not saying always, because there are some that are very successful being publicly traded, but they run things different. They run things on spreadsheets. They run things by numbers for the most part, and doesn't always align with a relationship business. And so anyways, great learnings. Got to know lots of best practices in business, all the things, and left there, went to another startup, and then actually was helping a friend of mine resurrect and fix his company that was more of a manufacturing company, which was a service to another network marketing company. I had finished up with the private equity thing, and I was like, I need to take a break. But absolutely love the industry to death. I always knew I would get back involved with the industry, because for us corporate folks, you either love it, or it's like a different animal and you hate it and you like get out and you're like, oh, I'm not doing that anymore, right? Yeah. And so anyways, I got an email from a recruiter, and it was one of those things. They're like, hey, are you interested? We got this company, $500 million, Scottsdale, Arizona, Plexus Worldwide. And I'm like, who? I'm like, I don't know who that is. That's strange. I've been in the industry for 20 years. How do I not know anything about this company? And I'll tell you why in a minute. But anyways, that went from that to getting on a Zoom call or a phone call with a partner, and then senior partner, and then somehow found myself sitting in Tal Robinson's office having an interview. And long story short, at the end of the interview, it was kind of like, hey, are you interviewing us or are we interviewing you? And I said, you know what? It's both. I'm looking for a permanent home. Like, I love this business, what it does for people, what it's done for me personally, my personal growth. And anyways, long story short, I got an opportunity to work for Plexus Worldwide. And I always tell this story. I'm like, I through my career, I've seen the good, I've seen the bad, I've seen the ugly, but I found the greatest, hands down. Okay. Like, if you guys don't know that, like, you need to know, like, our company is extremely special. The culture, all the things, like, I don't know if anybody's been with other companies, but, I'll give you an example. Like, in our community pages, if somebody's like, hey, I need help with this, right? Or have you experienced this? Or, do you have a resource over here? It's like, people don't care if that's your upline, downline, sideline. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like, everybody has a growth mentality, not a scarcity mentality, right? It's like a rising tide lifts all boats. So people jump in. Oh yeah, I've done that before, and this is what I've seen work. And it's like, that's not necessarily normal, FYI, right? Yeah, it usually is, like, within teams, within other companies, but outside of other teams that are compartmentalized, that usually doesn't happen. And so anyways, long story short, came in as the chief operating officer of Plexus Worldwide. Been with the company now 5.5 years. When the changes happened and Charles said, hey, here you go. I get a little choked up here. So I still pinch myself. I still, like, kind of walk around the building sometimes and go, is this really happening? Like, is this, like, this is just the most amazing thing on the planet. And it's because of all of you guys, and what we do together and the partnership we do together. So that's a quick 5-minute maybe on how I became all the way from the journey in network marketing through being CEO of Plexus Worldwide. So
yeah. So you've been CEO for a little over a year and a half? No,
7 months.
Okay. Wow.
Oh,
wow.
I take that back. 8 months, going on 9.
Okay. So that's really not a long time. So you feel good about where the company is going, I would imagine. You've made some changes. I love it. Yeah, I love, I feel like, what does Genevieve call you, the man about something about speed?
Oh, like, yeah, my middle name is Speed, is what she says.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, And the reason for that is really because one, you know, we have a lot of work to do. And that work is really in regards to getting you guys the things you need to be successful in your businesses, right? And I'm so passionate about what we're doing and why we're doing it. And for those of you who don't know, like I walk around the building in every meeting, and I'm like, everybody has to be the ambassador champion. Everybody has to be the ambassador champion. Okay. And you know, we always get asked, well, what's your vision? What's your vision for the company, right? And I've got two. I've got a long-term vision and a short-term vision. Okay. And the long-term vision is we want to give you guys opportunities that you had never even dreamed of, you never even thought of before. And what I mean by that is we have something so special that from our community and the vehicle that we have to bring hope, health, and happiness to the entire world. That's our mission. Like we have this opportunity. We have, you know, just huge vision for this, because when we do that and we widen our community in that area, it gives you guys and it gives our employees opportunities that they never even thought of, right? Being able to experience other cultures, right? Wait till we have a global convention and all of a sudden we have people from 10 different countries coming to convention. You think Nashville was wild and off the chart? Wait until we have a global convention like that. The energy and just the community of how that everybody interacts and feeds off of one another. And also, you know, I always get this thing, it's like, well, I don't know anybody in Australia, or I don't know anybody in Mexico, or I don't know anybody in Canada. Well, you don't need to. That's the beauty of network marketing. That's the beauty of our comp plan. It can be global and it can be seamless. And what I mean by that is we overcomplicate everything, right? So it's like when you get asked, well, what do you do? What's your response, right? For those that are not full-time, obviously, you know, this is something that we're working on, the nooks and crannies of our life. But even still, it's like, hey, I work with this company called Plexus Worldwide, and guess what? We operate in the US, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand. Okay. And it's like, oh, my sister-in-law lives in Australia. Well, guess what? Now you know somebody who lives in Australia. It's like you don't know who you don't know, right? And we overcomplicate that. And so, you know, giving you guys opportunities to play in that space, to have teams in that global space will bring another level to this company that you cannot imagine. Now, the other piece of it is from a short-term vision, and I think, Jennifer, this is what you're kind of alluding to on some of the changes that we've been working on, right? You know, I call it being brilliant at the basics. There's certain things that Plexus we have to do in order to give you guys that platform that I'm talking about to go to the next level, to go international, right? And that's everything. And I call it, everything has to be experiential. And we're working on that right now, right? So, you know, we have to work on our digital presence. We have to work on all the things, right? Where's my, oh, there it is. Right? All the things here to where it's super easy for you guys to actually go out, shout about Plexus, have people interact and do business with us. Because raise your hand, who shops online? Who's a consumer? Who goes to Amazon? Who go like all the things, right? Well, if you actually take our model and you strip out the comp plan and you strip out the way we onboard people into the community to play within the comp plan, well, what do you have? You have a extremely high volume, low touch e-commerce model. Okay. So the days of, hey, we're competing with Mary Kay, or we're competing with other network marketing or direct sales companies, that's old thinking. It's like, we're competing with the Amazons of the world. We're competing with, you know, the other marketplaces. We're competing with where it's really easy to do busy. We're competing with the Ubers of the world. We're competing with all of those things. And we need to make it super seamless and easy to transact and do business with us. And you've started to see some of that transitioning, right? especially with the Plexus Go app that we launched. That's just first version of that, right? We got all the other things that are coming on that. Also, our platform, that our website and all the digital is connected to, right? We're right now parallel pathing and going down the path of a new platform. And we're actually starting to bring pieces of the website and things onto that new platform. How many of you have been with Plexus for more than 18 months? Anybody? Lots of hands, most hands, right?
Yeah, I would say most of the people on the call.
Yeah. Anybody been to our homepage lately? Like it loads like in less than 1 second. Well, it should.
Yeah.
Right? The days of 9 seconds and double load and all the things, and that's just we cannot do that type of stuff, right? Right before convention, we also moved and changed what we call our product landing page, right? So the secondary shop page. So now when you hit that page, it's now, right, all this, the search features, the sort features, the product categories, like all of those things. Those are all the things that I'm talking about being brilliant at the basics on. And now we're moving to the next phase of this. We're also working on the virtual office, upgrade on the virtual office, the reporting, the speed there, all that stuff we're working on. We partner with Adobe Commerce to completely redo the entire checkout. Right? It should just be as simple as, okay, here's my cart, I'm done, double click, Apple Pay, I'm checked out, I'm done. All those things, right? Stuff back there, what we're all used to as we're shopping, right? It's like, hey, Jennifer, guess what? We know you have this experience.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're good. It's not just customer service, those things, it's customer service, it's all the things there, right? It's just everything has to level up. Even like, I know we have amazing events, okay, but we're gonna level those up too, right?
I can't imagine.
Well, so the next leaders retreat that we'll do, we have the contest that's going now for the Caribbean cruise. It's awesome. But the next one, we're going to do something different, something that we've never done before.
Oh my God.
I can't tell you what that is, because I can't let the cat out of the bag. Otherwise my boss, Genevieve, will get mad. But I'll just say, keep your passports up to date.
Oh, wow. Oh, goodness. Okay.
Family friendly. All the things you want to bring. If you qualify and you want to bring your kids along with you, we're going to give you this super discounted rate to bring your kids and do all the things. And right, we need to continue down the path of like, this is a family oriented company. We're a people driven company, right? Experiences at convention where we've been talking about now. I know this is being recorded, but so don't hold me to this. We're a lot of thoughts still got to go into this, because I get asked, well, how are you going to level up convention next year? Like, it's like, I just don't understand how you're going to, right? Well, people bring their families, right? People bring their kids. Well, why aren't we having like a little section where we set up for kids to come in and work with Dr. Hartman, our R&D, and mix their own drinks and do the different things. And then for you guys have another section with R&D where you're testing new products and giving us all the feedback and all the different things, right?
Yeah.
That's how you can level up. That's how again, experiential. Everything has to be experiential. And it can be something small, but it also can be something very large. And so these are all the things that we're working on from a short-term standpoint. So we're super excited. Oh, by the way, like Jennifer, you've seen and right? Like holiday this year.
Oh, yeah.
Over, like all the I'll just leave that there, right? It's complete 180 from last year. I think Michael got a standing ovation at the Diamond meeting at convention. And again, we're gonna do it sooner, right? Like the days of like a Black Friday thing, turning it on Black Friday. Well, guess what? People have already spent their money on Black Friday. Like it's done. Like they're doing it the week before, right? So a lot of that stuff, kind of innovating, changing, trying to raise the bar on it, do all those different types of things. So it's Super excited. Lots and lots of stuff going on here at corporate.
I love
Lots.
it. I love it. It's so exciting, so thrilling. Okay, so I have one question. So let's say I'm a brand new person and I'm looking at all the network companies, the network marketing companies out there. So why should I put all my eggs in this Plexus basket? Like, I mean, if this hasn't convinced anybody, I don't know. But so what would you say to that person that's like, I don't really know if I'm going 110% in with this company or not. So I don't
Well,
want to
I would
I kind of put you on the spot, but
no, it's good. No, I love it because I get asked, well, what makes our company different? Why Plexus? Why? So it's kind of the same question, right? And I'm going to share a few things with you that you probably don't know. But what sets us apart are a few things. Okay, one, we have real products that are substantiated and scientifically backed. Like if you came into our lab, I could give you a dossier that thick on every product, where every raw material comes from, every test that happens, all the things, okay, to make sure that we have the best products out for you guys in the marketplace possible. It's one. Two, okay, we're a company that cares about people and gives back. And what I mean by that, and you've heard Alec, right? He's coined the phrase, if you're blessed, be a blessing. Well, guess what? We've all been extremely blessed, and the company's been extremely blessed. And so, we give back, not only through the things that you guys see through Nourish One, right? And those types of things, but there's a lot of things that people don't see, and we don't really shout it from the rooftops a lot because we don't like the, hey, look at us type of deal. But going back, we give our employees 16 hours of what we call paid volunteer time. So this is over and above what we give on the normal, paid sick time, paid vacation time. We literally give people 16 hours, and we give them very specific opportunities to go back in our community here and give back into the community.
Wow.
To go work at St. Mary's Food Bank, to go and volunteer at Phoenix Children's Hospital, to go volunteer at a number of just amazing places. Our philanthropic efforts are more than I've seen anywhere, because we care about people, right? Again, this is a people business, a relationship business. And so you can ask any one of our employees, like when we do, usually at like a Friday raffle or something, we're like, what's your most memorable moment at Plexus? And with hands down, people are always like, the opportunity I had to go volunteer at St. Mary's Food Bank, the opportunity I had to go give at Ryan House, the opportunity I had to go help at Helping Hands, Arizona, Phoenix Children's Hospital, like on and on and on. And the other cool part about that thing too is it's not just our employees. Like all of our leaders go and do it. C-suite goes and does it. Tarl does it. Alec does it. Like it's a company of, we say one thing, but we back it up.
Yeah.
Where a lot of other companies, they'll say one thing and put this kind of presence out there, but when the rubber meets the road, that's not always the case, right? And that was the thing that really attracted me to Plexus. Tarl would always say, if it's not good for our ambassadors and it's not good for our employees, then we're either going to round file it and start over, or you guys are going to have to go back and kind of massage that so that it is a win for everybody, right? Because that's the other thing too, is like we understand, like, our number one asset is people.
Yeah.
Pure and simple. And that's another reason why that whole private equity and publicly traded things not always fun. It's not solely focused on the people. So, I would that, and then the last thing is our comp plan. Our comp plan is extremely different, innovative, unique in the industry compared to other comp plans, right? We actually reward a lot more at the lower levels and the people down in the middle, as opposed to we're just always feeding the top.
Yeah.
Because we understand the why, right? So those are the things that make us unique and different.
I love it. I love it. And it just solidifies our decision to be here. Like we, our family is, my husband is Sapphire, I'm Diamond. So like we are a double Plexus family. Like this is what we do. And this solidifies why we do it, because this right here, the heart of the company. The heartbeat of the company is other, like serving others and being a blessing. And that's just, I love it. I love it. This has been such an incredible call. Thank you so much, Jean. I know our team, there's a lot of that couldn't be on tonight, so they're going to watch the recording, but I know this has been an incredible blessing and everybody's just been so encouraged. We're already excited about Leaders Retreat, about the cruise. People are working to earn that and just so excited for that. And convention next year is going to be amazing. And I'm just, it's so amazing. I went to the town hall meeting. I've been to some diamond meetings, and I just really appreciate your transparency and your realness. And I think that's one thing that just really draws people to you is you're real. You're the real deal. And you're not, putting on airs, or you're just like, hey, this is me and I'm going to be honest with you and I'm going to just shoot it straight. And people appreciate that. And I appreciate that in you.
I just really don't know any other way to be. So I appreciate that. And I apologize, just so everybody knows that this is normally scheduled for an hour, but shame on me. I call her my handler, is on vacation, and I committed to another call and didn't tell her before she went on vacation. Like, oh no, I'm a hot mess.
Somebody it's all help. Right. It's all right. Well, we're so glad to have.
Is there a couple questions maybe that I could answer? I always like to do a Q&A thing. I know I only have a couple minutes left, but is there anything anybody wants to ask? Or I'm pretty much open book. I mean, Jennifer knows that.
Yeah.
If not, that's okay too.
All right.
I
guess no one's brave enough.
Okay. Well, I've always got something to say, so I'll be brave. Jean, let me just say on behalf of our team and Jennifer, thank you so much for your time tonight. And all of us that are on here, I think we are all moms, and we were all at convention by ourselves, and we all have children, and I will be crying tears of joy if I get to bring my family with me to convention next summer. So I work full time, and my vacation time's very, very, very limited. That's why I work Flexus so hard to make that change and get that freedom of time one day. But wow, what an opportunity that would be for my husband to see that and my kids to get involved, because they know a lot of weekends when we do the extra things, it's because mommy works Plexus. And so that just, I don't know if it's exactly going to be possible, but if there's that opportunity, I can tell you from a mama heart, that would just make it for us.
Well, let me say this. One of the things that we are going to do is, one, look at, just as Jennifer knows, again, transparency here, like the Father's Day weekend thing and all that stuff, like we know. So we're working on that, right? Unfortunately, whether you guys know this or not, like contracts for these things are in place like years in advance, because we have a huge group and it's not easy to find the right time, the right place, the right venue. But one of the things that we are doing, just before we close here, is trying to have conventions in more family, how do I describe this? In locations that are more family friendly vacation places, so that when people come to convention, whether that's on the front end, the back end for a couple of days, whatever that looks like for people, that they do bring their family and they take that opportunity to not only experience Plexus, but also, again, like you said, people are taking their vacation time to go to conventions. So let's give them the opportunity to make that part of a real vacation as well, right? Hey, let's take a couple of days. We're going to do Disney World, or we're going to do X, or we're going to do those things, right? So just know that's in our mind as well going forward.
That is awesome. That's exciting. I know our team loves that. We're super family oriented here. So I love that. Well, thank you, Jean, for your time. I know you've got to run, but we so appreciate you jumping on our call. It really does mean so much to us. Truly, we thank you for your time. So, all right.
Thank you. Thanks to all of you guys, though, for what you do. We appreciate it so much.
Well, we're so grateful to be partners in this beautiful health and happiness world that we have, and we thank you guys for creating it. We're just so grateful. All right, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Hey, have a good night.
Bye, guys.